Good news, everyone. Mr. Page here. I've made it up to another final boss here. It's another constructed deck. This time I'm giving Esper Hero a shot. We're seeing this in a lot of tournaments. It's the flavor of Esper du jour. So since the rotation, Esper control, I think, has gotten a lot weaker because it's bad against all of the extra planeswalkers running around. Especially bad against like the Super Friends list that are just entirely planeswalkers. But all the other opponents tend to have more planeswalkers as well, which is trouble for the control deck. And so the way that Esper players can attack that is by running basically Hero of Precinct One, the namesake of the deck. We've also got Dovin's Veto, a one of, and a Despark, which are some new War of the Spark cards. Tyrant Scorn, also pretty good removal, and being a gold card helps trigger the heroes more. 4 Thief of Sanities. I love running decks with 4 Thieves. Thieves, such a good card. We've got some baby Teferis, some more just variety removal spells. This guy's interesting. Elite Guardmage, really good against Mono Red, obviously, and the fact that he replaces himself, like it's just like a card draw, means it's never really dead anywhere, but it's super good against any deck where having a 2/3 blocker is good. So mono blue, mono white, mono red, those kind of matchups. Sorin, surprisingly good. I didn't think he'd be that great. He can get back your heroes and your thieves, and you can even cash him in for a guard mage. But if you plus him, then even better. You can get the guard mage and keep your Sorin. And speaking of the plus, it looks bad, ping for 1. But again, all those planeswalkers running around. Sorin's really good at finishing off a Narset or a baby Teferi that's just sitting there on 1 loyalty. Eldest Reborn. I love Eldest Reborn, so I'm happy to see one in this deck. Two Teferis and 1 Ugin for your big planeswalkers. And Enter the God Eternal. Super good card. Another kind of surprise. I mean, it does everything. But this is key to just crushing the red players. If you get to the point where you're casting this, they can't win, basically. You shut down all of their creatures by killing one of them and then blocking the rest, and you gain 4 life. Super good. And then, you know, in the fair matchups, it's still like a 4/4 Flame Tongue Kavu type of card. So it's just all around a really good card. The mana base, we've got 2 basics and 23 of the duels. They've left out 1 Drowned Catacomb. And if you notice I'm talking third person, this isn't my deck. I've just jumped into playing it. You see here, I got this list from MTG Goldfish. This is the site I love going to for deck lists. And they compile just all the great tournament decks. And in this case, this deck got first place in a Star City Games Standard IQ. See, they're calling it Esper Midrange. I still kind of call it Esper Midrange, but everyone's picked up calling this Esper Hero, which will probably make for an interesting YouTube title as I try to make sure I hit all the search results. So I'll link this. I'll link this in the video description so you can come here and check it out. I'll also put the deck in there so that you can import it. Right with this button right here. Just copy all of the text in my description on your clipboard and then click import and it'll bring it right in. Obviously, if the format's wrong, it doesn't, but... Oh, the sideboard. So we've got Duresses, Dovin's Veto, Narset. Narset, super good against the control people, as well as obviously the Duress and the Vetoes. Extra Despark, surprisingly good against the deck I used last, the Phoenix deck. Exiling Phoenix is great, but he's really here just to... You want to be Desparking Planeswalkers. Extra Oath of Kaya and some Basilica Bell-Haunt. This guy crushes Mono Red as well. It's just ridiculously powerful against them. You got Hostage Taker for the more mid-rangey people, as well as like really good against Mono White. Not so hot against Mono Red, but super good against Mono White. We also have a Time White to help shore up those matchups against the rush decks. And the bouncing a creature aspect of this is super relevant in this deck. Okay, let's jump into our final boss. See if we can win another trophy. While we're loading into this game, could I ask a favor of you? Could you hit that subscribe button? It'll help me out a lot. It helps me find more great viewers like you, and it'll help you find more great videos like this. It's a win-win situation. Unlike Magic, which is a win-lose situation, we will hopefully be the one winning, and they will be the one losing. This is a great hand. We got Hero into either of our powerful 3-drops, depending what we're up against. So let's lead with, I guess the Fountain's fine. Playing against everybody's favorite deck to beat on, Mono Red. So we'll see if we can steal game 1, but then we have a pretty good sideboard against them. So we can Teferi and bounce the Steamkin, and we'll get a token. That'll be really good. Now if he shocks her, Wizard's Lightning, also bad. So what are our options here? We can Teferi and bounce him, like I said, but then the Pyromancer eats our Teferi. That's probably fine. We could also drop a Thief of Sanity and try to block this guy, but then this guy's just going to smack us for 4. So let's bounce the Steamkin. That seems to be the most likely way that we can mount a comeback here.
Let's slow this down. I've got time.
So, you know, Planeswalkers don't have to live forever to give you value. That was 3 mana, bounce this creature, draw a card, and gain 2 life. That's a pretty good card. You would play that card. And then obviously, like, when you can actually defend them, they do so much more.
This is hardly my worst defeat.
So we don't have any mass removal in this main deck, so it's going to be pretty hard to win this game. I'm just going to Mortify the Steamkin. I'll wait just to make him possibly play his turn a little less efficiently. He might burn us when he would otherwise want to play a bigger creature or something. And now if he's got a 4 mana value follow-up, we're in trouble. Chaining Light the stage is also trouble. Yeah, that's pretty bad. So we'll block with the Thief. We'll veto this Lightning Strike coming our way, because it's probably non-creatures that he's spending the rest of his mana on. He did point that at the Thief. It really didn't matter. I was vetoing it anyway. If I was him, though, I definitely would have set that at my face. Put me to 6. So now he can go Chain Whirler and pop the Fanatic on the Thief. Attack us down to 4. If we draw and enter the God Eternals, can we make a comeback here? I don't think so. We didn't draw it. We did draw a life gain, though. So we're technically not dead. I'll shock out the Thief because it's neutral. We take 2 from casting him, but then he'll block here. That doesn't finish us off. Can we draw the Enter the God Eternal? One time, dealer, one time. Oh. Never mind, our opponent's just playing with his food anyway. Cast the Steamkin for no reason. Okay, so Bell-Haunt, yes. Oath, yes. Time Wipes? Ooh, possibly not. A lot of the time they take some of their smaller creatures out. Let's see what we have that's bad down here. Despark. Don't need. I'm not sure if we want Teferis. I don't think we want Teferis. Eldest Reborn we certainly don't want. And I think we can cut something on the high end here, so we can get 3 more in. So we could run some more Vetoes. I think that's fine. We want to have a Veto up on his 4-mana turn to counter his Chandra or Experimental Frenzy. Those are pretty important cards. I don't think I want Duress. We could run a Despark for the same reason. That seems weak. Let's just throw a Teferi in. He's fine to play on turn 3 and just bounce a Steamkin or whatever. Okay, 2 mana, but we get double Thought Erasure and 2 of our life gainy removal-y guys. I think this is keepable. We don't even have to shock ourselves. Okay, so he's got Lava Coil. We can keep that for sure. So we can take his turn 2 play, and then all he can do is burn us. But I don't think I want to do that because I want to just Oath of Kaya it. So I think we probably just take the Tybalt anyway. Tybalt's just the most value-oriented card. I'm going to bin that. I want the 4th land for the Guardmage. So we'll shock ourselves to Oath of Kaya this guy. And then I've got pretty good incentive to Thought Erasure next turn, because if either of these cards he drew was one of his 4-mana powerhouses. Although now there's only 1 card that could be one of those 4-mana powerhouses. So I think we'll just go mana efficient. Drop this guy. We'll draw a card, gain 3 life, and he'll get bolted. So basically we drew a card and gained 6 life. Well, chaining them is pretty nice. He did have the Chandra. I should have fired off the Thought Erasure.
I knew you needed my help.
I guess it only would have been a 50-50 shot if it was the Mountain or the Chandra sitting in his hand. Well, let's get an attacker out. Attacking Chandra is not exactly the most desirable course of action, but...
There's no problem fire can't solve.
Actually, this guy's getting burnt anyways. Guaranteed. There's a hero. That's really good. So let's go hero. And let's Thought Erasure before he can empty his hand. Take the more damage. Definitely leave. Gain 3 life. That gives us a token to block his Pyromancer. Shocks everything away. So I can do both 3s or the Bell-Haunt. I think we'll do the Bell-Haunt. If we want to keep her from ultimating, we're going to need to get the attacker out.
Sit back and watch it burn.
It's an unfortunate hit for him. Chandra finds another Chandra. think he's debating whether or not what happens when he plays it. If he'd get her minus loyalty trigger or not. He wouldn't. If you just destroy or exile Planeswalker, it doesn't trigger.
What? My hair is on fire? I know. This is just gonna be.
So that's interesting. He gave up all that loyalty to draw one card. I don't agree with that play. So let's mortify this guy out of the way. We'll hit her. We'll be able to kill her next turn. She's gonna get to smork us a fair amount. Well, plus this guy.
That's more like it.
What's that smell? Oh, it's you burning.
So we can just Tyrant Scorn this and finish off Chandra.
Plan B. As soon as
We're still at a pretty good life total, too. So he definitely should have kept the other Chandra, I think.
This was a waste of my time. It's over
really
when I say
that
it's over.
coming.
Oops. I could have plussed him to live. That was obviously a mistake. Not going to get punished, though, with the Ugin top deck.
Do not defy the designs of Elder. Ether itself serves me.
Imperfect play, but we're running away with this game now. He's trying to race us. We'll just kill that.
So be gone, interloper.
I'm just going to play the land. There's not much point in bluffing. I don't think it could possibly change his play. He's going to do... whatever he draws, he's going to cast. It's not like he's playing around counter spells. And we've got lethal. Okay, so... that game went pretty good. It seems like he drew a lot of burn there, so it is quite possible that he took a few of his creatures out. He had a lava coil, which was strange. So if we think he's reduced his creatures, I guess we don't want to change anything. Like, we already didn't bring in the time wipes, which was already... that's the big change you'd make. If you knew he still had a lot of creatures, you'd want your time wipes. We know he's on the Chandra plan, so the Mortifies are slightly worse. Unless he's got a mix of Experimental Frenzies and Chandras. Could go with Despark. No, I think I'll run that this way again. I think the Mortifies are good enough to shut down Steamkins and whatnot, and that's pretty much how we lose this game, is creatures getting out of control. We have enough life gain attached to our cards that he's not going to be able to burn us out with anything short of like an Experimental Frenzy going nuts. That is assuming we get to play Magic. I'm going to bottom that, even though we've got a 6-mana card, because we just need to find more cheaper things to do. We'll Ugin eventually. So pretty good curve here. We're going to Thought Erasure him, and then we can Oath one of these guys. We'll take 2 cards by taking the light up the stage. We'll leave that to clean up the other one of his creatures. He drew another creature. Really good draw. Now we're getting smorked for 3, but we can now kill the Steamkin. pretty close to stabilizing now. Wow, really good draw for him though. The triple Lava Runner draw. Now I wish I had that time wipe. We would have swapped the time wipes for the Mortifies though, and we didn't draw either. Definitely did not want to shock myself to get this Danny DeVito online. Okay, what do you do? I haven't drawn a creature yet. He doesn't get from the opponent's graveyard, so I guess I'm still playing him and plussing. Gains me 1 life.
I will have revenge for House Markov. I abhor my need for blood.
We're down to 1. That 1 life off Sorin might have kept us alive. Nope. Couldn't put up with that Fury. I knew that was the way we were going to lose the game. We did mulligan too, but no matter how much you try with your sideboard, you're still going to lose to Mono Red sometimes when they draw well. Well, my name's Mr. Page. I hope you guys enjoyed this strategy page on the Esper Hero deck, and I hope that loss to Mono Red doesn't discourage you from giving this deck a try. It's still a really good deck, and there's not a lot of Mono Red running around in this format right now. That might change, but at the moment it is fairly rare to see them. And I do recommend this deck. It's quite a lot of fun, and even if you don't want to play it, you should be ready to play against it, because this guy's everywhere. Maybe next time I'll change seats and play the Mono Red deck myself. But that's for next time. For this time, we're all done. See you later.